Right now at noon, many travelers will hit the road today and tomorrow for their Thanksgiving holiday travels. We'll tell you what you need to know before you hit the road. And former President Jimmy Carter is out of the hospital. We'll have an update on his condition.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Wednesday afternoon, Thanksgiving Eve. Wind, rain, and snow could impact your travel plans for Thanksgiving. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, Mark. A lot of the snow has come to an end across the upper Midwest, with the exception of extreme northern Wisconsin and Michigan. That's going to be ending soon, but we're still dealing with a lot of the wind out there. These are wind gusts right now in Madison, gusting upwards towards 40 miles per hour. Some of those wind gusts of 43 miles per hour in places such as Monroe and Lone Rock. And we have seen higher wind gusts just going through the day, upwards of 50 miles per hour in times. But then there's the wind speed. A lot of these have been sustained, upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour. These are the sustained winds. So it is certainly very breezy out there. And we have wind advisories. Those wind advisories went into effect at 8 o'clock this morning. They're going to stay in place until 6 o'clock for southern Wisconsin. If you work just south of the state line into Iowa and Illinois, this is where the winds are even stronger. So we have a high wind warning. That's also going to go until 6 o'clock. So if you're driving a higher profile vehicle, a larger SUV, you will want to be prepared for the wind, especially on those north to south roads as you travel today. In terms of what's falling out of the sky, I can't rule out drizzle or flurries, but for the most part, we're going to be drying out as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures will hang in the 30s overnight. Tonight, we should start to see partly cloudy skies. That wind subsides a little bit with the low of 26. But Mark, there could be more travel trouble by the time we get you towards the period that folks come home for Thanksgiving. So, of course, I'll be breaking that all down in a couple minutes.
Timing is everything, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. If you are flying out of the Dane County Regional Airport today, you might want to check your flight status. While the weather is okay here, the airport has experienced delays in both departures and arrivals involving Atlanta, O'Hare, Detroit, New York, Texas, L.A., and Minneapolis. So far, those delays have increased rapidly since early this morning. One woman who flew into Madison from Detroit said she was happy to avoid some of the chaos.
Left at 5:28 in the morning, and there weren't any delays then.
What was the weather like there?
It wasn't windy like they thought it was going to be. I know it's supposed to get windy later, like between 50 and 60 mile per hour winds, and I was like, I'm so glad I took the early flights.
For a list of cancellations and delays, head to our website. And stay up to date on your Thanksgiving travel plans with our weather app. It features hourly forecasts, radar, and first alert traffic to keep you safe during your holiday travels. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. The Madison School District is warning parents after a staff member saw a stranger throwing candy at students on a playground. It happened at Orchard Ridge Elementary School yesterday. An email to parents says the stranger was enticing the students to approach them. The school district says the suspect quickly left the area when a staff member started to walk toward them. Madison police are investigating the incident. In a statement, the Orchard Ridge and Toki Middle School principal said, quote, "We want you to know that our school staff are here to provide any support your child may need." The district is reminding parents to make sure that your kids never respond to strangers when they're alone, to walk with friends whenever possible, and to never accept rides, gifts, or food from someone they don't know. Madison police are looking for the people who reportedly stole a woman's car while she was checking to see if she ran something over. Police say it happened in the 1000 block of Gilson Street yesterday afternoon. A woman was checking to see if she ran over something. When she turned around after getting out of her car, the car was gone. Police say a witness saw an older model sedan pull up and saw two teenage suspects steal the car. Anyone with information asked to call the Madison area Crime Stoppers. At least 3 people are injured after an explosion at a chemical plant in Texas. It happened at a chemical plant in Port Neches, Texas. That's about 80 miles east of Houston. Homes close to the plant were heavily damaged. Officials say the blast was felt up to 30 miles away. The TPC Group plant makes chemicals and petroleum-based products. State environmental officials are monitoring air quality in the area. An investigation into the cause of the explosion is underway. Rescuers in Albania are racing against the clock to try to find more survivors after Tuesday's powerful earthquake. At least 25 people have been killed and more than 600 others have been injured after a magnitude 6.4 quake hit Albania. Hundreds of aftershocks have jolted the area, keeping residents on edge. Earthquakes have also hit nearby Bosnia and off the Greek island of Crete in the last 48 hours, but no injuries have been reported. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter has been released from Emory University Hospital in Atlanta after recovering from surgery to relieve pressure on his brain caused by bleeding from a fall. A spokeswoman says that the Carters look forward to enjoying Thanksgiving at their home in Plains, where he will continue to recover. The Carter Center has said the bleeding was connected to Carter's recent falls. President Trump is in Florida for the Thanksgiving holiday. Last night, he held a rally near Miami where he spent a lot of time focused on the impeachment inquiry. Meanwhile, we're learning more about the decision to withhold military aid from Ukraine and the whistleblower's complaint, which triggered the impeachment investigation. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
President Trump insisted there was no quid pro quo, connecting military aid for Ukraine with an investigation of former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, Hunter.
I have never had a direct link between investigations and security assistance. Okay, what that means, you know what it means? It means we did zero, we did nothing wrong.
But Mark Sandy, a career official with the Office of Management and Budget, says he told the White House that suspending the aid might have violated federal law. And he testified that 2 White House officials resigned in part because of concerns about the president's decision to withhold the money.
This investigation is most importantly about $391 million in taxpayer dollars that was leveraged to ask the Ukrainians to investigate the president's political opponent.
According to the New York Times, the president released the Ukraine aid only after he knew the issue was the subject of a whistleblower complaint. House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler announced his committee will hold its first public impeachment hearings next Wednesday. He's given the White House until Sunday to decide if they'll attend. Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham says the White House is reviewing the offer, but added what is obvious to every American is that this letter comes at the end of an illegitimate sham partisan process. The president has done nothing wrong, and the Democrats know it. President Trump insists the polls show Democrats losing the battle for public support of the impeachment.
You see what's happening in the polls? Everybody said, that's really bull.
But new polls show support for impeachment at 50%. 43% are against, the same number as what we saw in October. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And next week's impeachment hearing will feature constitutional experts explaining what is an impeachable offense and meant to build public support for impeachment. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you think gravy is one of the most important parts of Thanksgiving like I do, don't go anywhere. We all know that Thanksgiving's tomorrow, and by now your turkey should be thawing, and hopefully you've got a pretty good jump start on what side dishes and desserts you'll be making. But what about the gravy? If you're not sure where to start on that one, no worries. Once our turkey is cooked, all we have to do is pour our pan drippings into a large measuring cup and skim off the fat that rises to the top. A gravy ladle works great for this. Now, before discarding all that fat, we pour about a half a cup of it in a saucepan and stir in the same amount of flour. This is what's gonna thicken up our gravy. Just keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. While that's simmering, we add some chicken broth to the turkey drippings, just enough so we end up with about 4 cups. All that's left to do is stir in the flour mixture and let it simmer for a bit to thicken up. That's it. The perfect homemade gravy that's ready to drizzle on all your favorites. Everything from turkey and stuffing to, of course, the mashed potatoes. The recipe for classic pan gravy, as well as a whole collection of last-minute Thanksgiving Day recipes, are on our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, wishing you and your family the best Thanksgiving ever. One filled with lots of great food, health, happiness, and of course, ooh, it's so good.
Looks good, Howard. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, rain, snow, and wind are in the forecast as you head out for your holiday travels. Meteorologist Chris Reese will have more in your first alert forecast right after the break. Slow but unsteady growth for the U.S. economy, and today marks take 2 for one iconic toy retailer. Mark Leverman has more in today's Money Watch report.
The U.S. economy grew 2.1% over the summer, edging analysts' expectations of 1.9%. The Commerce Department says GDP growth picked up pace in the third quarter despite uncertainty in the ongoing U.S.-China trade war. A Thanksgiving gift for U.S. manufacturers. Orders for durable goods rose 0.6% in October, a stark change from September's 1.4% drop. The boost was thanks in part to increased demand in big-ticket items like military aircraft. Twitter will start deleting inactive accounts next month. The company sent out warning emails to users who haven't been using their accounts in the last 6 months or longer. In the emails, inactive account users need to log in by December 11th and follow on-screen steps, including accepting the latest terms and policies. Toys R Us is opening its first new U.S. store today. The iconic toy retailer opens up shop in New Jersey, and a second store is set to open next week in Houston, Texas. The company is working to make a comeback after filing for bankruptcy in 2017 and closing its stores last year. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Mark Liverman.
Thank you, Mark. At the noon hour, the Dow Industrials are up 3 points. The NASDAQ up 45, and the S&P 500 is up almost 8. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee is starting her Thanksgiving holiday. She's out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Chris is over in the Weather Center, and the storm moving out of the area.
That's right. The past 24 hours here across the upper Midwest have been downright busy with the storm system that we had. This starts at this time yesterday, showing you the winter storm that moved in throughout northern Wisconsin and the rain that we did see here in the Madison area. A lot of this now starting to quiet down for us. We still have a little bit of snow throughout northern Wisconsin, but that's about it. Most of the activity has now moved towards the east. This is allowing us to dry out in the Madison area. I still can't rule out an isolated area of drizzle or a flurry as you're out and about underneath that cloud cover, but in general, we are dry, but it is very windy. The Edgewater Sky Camera has really just been shaking around at times with the wind that's out there. Our temperature right now, 36. Winds are sustained out of the west and northwest at 18 miles per hour for the airport. That is creating a wind chill of 26, but these are some of the wind gusts that we see coming in right now. 39 miles per hour for Madison. Janesville, you're seeing a wind gust at 41 right now. Monroe, a wind gust at 40. Lone Rock's wind gust is at 43. And some of the wind gusts today have been even higher than what we are seeing out there right now. So do be prepared for the wind, folks. That wind advisory continues until 6 o'clock for us. As you work your way down across northern Illinois and parts of Iowa, it's a high wind warning. That is going to continue until 6 o'clock. So, folks, strong winds are certainly some of the hazards you're going to see as you're on the roads. If you travel towards the north, you're going to be dealing with perhaps slippery roads and snow-covered roads from snow and blowing snow, and then heavy traffic. That's just going to be a thing. I can truly tell you that the traffic is heavy. I was driving in from Chicago back towards Madison yesterday. There are a lot of folks on the road, so stay aware and give yourself some extra time as you travel. Temperature-wise, we're a little bit warmer throughout the south and east. 39 in Janesville, Waukesha at 36, Kenosha at 41. The cooler air, though, is going to be transitioning in from the north and west. 32 in the Dells right now, Viroqua at 31. This is where there's snow on the ground from that winter storm just towards our north and west, but all of that cooler air filters in through time. So let's go through the rest of this evening. Here's how things play out. Those temperatures will begin to drop. By midnight, I think we'll be below the freezing point here in Madison. Good news, the roads are wet right now, but with all the wind out there, I do think that will dry off the road. So if you didn't see any snow, I'm not concerned about slick spots from freezing as temperatures fall below freezing overnight tonight. We'll see those overnight lows right around 26. Happy Thanksgiving. We're waking up tomorrow in the 20s. We won't warm up all that much, though. We'll see a little bit of cloud cover coming in from the south. By lunchtime, we'll be right at the freezing point. We'll warm up towards 36. This is Thursday at 3:30. We'll see those temperatures in the mid-30s at this point, and the cloud cover just continues to stream on in. Friday at noon, pay attention to what's happening just back towards the south and west. This is where we could see that next system starting to move into the picture. That may be a little round of some light snow earlier on Friday, but this system will again cause perhaps some travel headaches for folks as you travel home this time. Once again, northern Wisconsin, the Twin Cities are under the gun for accumulating snow. Rain comes in from the south. We'll see rain from about the Dells and points southward throughout northern Illinois initially, but then as the system begins to pull away Saturday into Sunday, that colder air comes crashing in. I think we will see a more pronounced round of some light snow on the backside of the system, along with the wind once again. So there is an alert day for next Sunday in addition to today as temperatures continue to drop. We'll see that mix of rain and snow Friday and Saturday. Once we get beyond the weekend, early next week, we do look to dry out, but we're staying cooler as temperatures stay in the 30s for highs.
Nice and quiet as everybody goes back to work and
yeah,
done
seriously.
traveling.
So it's as if Mother Nature decided she wanted in on the Thanksgiving party, and
so.
she's here.
She is here, that's for sure. Set it on the plate. All right, Chris, thank you. Ahead at noon, it's the baseball offseason, but the Brewers are making some roster changes. We'll explain after the break. It may be the offseason for the Brewers, but the front office is making changes. The Brewers have traded outfielder Trent Grisham and pitcher Zach Davis to the San Diego Padres. Milwaukee will receive second baseman Luis Urias and left-handed pitcher Eric Lauer in the trade. The Brewers will open the 2020 season on March 26th against the Chicago Cubs at Miller Park. And the Wisconsin men's basketball team has announced they'll be headed to Florida next year to compete in the Fort Myers Tip-Off. It'll happen November 23rd and 25th, 2020. Wisconsin, along with Butler, Colorado, and South Florida, will compete in the tournament. Something to look forward to next November. And this November, more snow to look forward to, Chris.
Yeah, we are certainly tracking the weather as we go through the next couple of days, because it's not just today, but then the weekend as folks begin to head home. That could feature a storm across the upper Midwest. That's why there's an alert day in your forecast for Sunday. And then, of course, the alert day for the remainder of today is really mainly due to the wind that we'll see out there. In terms of what's falling from the sky, other than drizzle or flurries, most of this should be coming to an end. By your Thanksgiving holiday, I do think will be predominantly dry. Look for those temperatures topping out around 36. I can't rule out some drizzle overnight into Friday, along with a flurry or two. Friday will go into the upper 30s. It's low 40s on Saturday. Again, snow and wind on Sunday before drying out as we move in towards next week. But we're going to be staying colder as temperatures pretty much stay right around that 30-degree mark.
All right, be careful if you're heading on the road. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching, everybody.